You got the original Lone Wolf coming at you real quick with a brief little video. Um, excuse me. I just want to point out the effery, y'all. I just want to point out the games and stuff that they play to give you guys examples of what type of level you should be thinking on when it come down to this stuff. Especially if you somebody that understand what legalese is, right? Now, I'm going to play this, and then I'm going to give y'all my commentary, right? Check this out.
Forbes issued us a ruling on my lawsuit, on our lawsuit. Perry Lewin and I and members of the Legal Gun Owners of Macon County, our association. And the judge granted all of us a temporary restraining order against this unconstitutional gun grab law. Well, this is a temporary restraining order. We have to go through the process to get a permanent order. But this is the first step. It's a big step. And we look forward to our day in court, which, we hope will be very, very soon. Well, that was our ask, is that the judge give a statewide TRO. This is the third TRO that's been granted. We now have a patchwork of TROs and 2,000 or 3,000 people that are covered by the TRO. Not fair to all the rest of the citizens. However, the judge took that under advisement, decided it wasn't in his purview, so he did what he could do for us, and we'll march on and get the permanent TRO as best we can. Well, it's really a pretty simple. This law singles out certain classes of people for Second Amendment rights, and it excludes others. The right to purchase, the right to exchange, the sell, the right to hold magazines. Certain members of society, be it police, retired police, whatnot, were granted those rights, and the rest of us were denied. It's a great day. We're very pleased, and we look forward to continuing the legal battle for every FOID card holder in Illinois until we can get the FOID card thrown out. That's our next goal.
Okay, well, check this out, y'all. Let me start with the FOID card first, right? Which is basically the Firearm Owner ID is what that stands for. All right? Firearm Owner ID. Let's start with that first. Just so we can be clear about this. I want to know exactly how many states have firearm permit. Damn, did I spell that right? Let's see. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. It did not give me what I want. Oh, I didn't spell it right. How many states have firearm? God, I hate Google. I think it's like 4 to 7 states, right? 4 to 7 states is the only states in America in the so-called republic, right? Which that go to show you that this state ain't a motherfucking republic. Well, it is, but it ain't, right? So it's like well, that's going to be our next goal is to get rid of the FOID card, right? Which is, basically like if you in Texas or Indiana or Florida or something, you go to buy a firearm, they just run your background, it come back clear, you take the firearm and you leave. Whereas here in Illinois, you have to apply for this card. It's on a piece of plastic, like driver's licenses and all this other bullshit. And you have to get that first. And then you have to present that every time you pick up a firearm from an FFL, and you have to do the background check, the 4471 or whatever number it is, or whatever. You have to do all of that. But you got to also show that little FOID card in order to buy ammo. You know what I'm saying? This go to show you how it's all a game. And it's alluding to something else too, because I want to get to the real reason why I made the video. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to give y'all a little bit of history and a little bit of background from somebody that's been here, you know what I'm saying, 40, soon to be 46 years. You dig? In Illinois, in Chicago, you know what I'm saying? You can't buy ammunition without that little card. You can't just go on Walmart and shit and pick up some double-I bucks. Straight up. And out in Illinois, you can't. And just, go to the counter and pay for them and walk out? No. Hell no. That's not Nope. If you don't have that little card, you ain't got shit coming. They don't care about your driver's license and, your state ID or whatever like that, passport or whatever. They don't care about none of that. If you ain't got that little FOIA card, you can't get it. You can't get one slug in Illinois. Not one. Straight up. And that's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's different from out-of-towners because you can produce more than likely an out-of-town ID. You know what I'm saying? So with you guys, it'll be a little bit different. But for somebody like myself who can't produce an out-of-state ID, yeah, man, you got to have that little card. So it's like, how did y'all allow that to become something that should have never been on the books to begin with because it's not constitutional? And 40-some other states acknowledge that shit too. You see what I'm saying? So now, here's the reason why I made the video. Getting to my point. So y'all already know there's a big fight here in Illinois. And, chances are they might overturn this shit because they not playing. Like, it be so funny, man. This shit be so funny. For people like, if y'all ain't from here or whatever, y'all don't know nothing about Illinois, it be funny as hell because we all know what's going on. We all know what it is. It's always blamed on Chicago. You know what I'm saying? And all of the shit that come with it, it's Indiana's fault. It's this, that, and the other fault, and blah, blah, blah. And I already broke down how they do it in Wisconsin and Indiana. Especially the areas that border the state line and shit. I already broke down the video how they do that, man. They ask you for ID specifically to see if you got an out-of-state ID, meaning you from Illinois. Like if you in Wisconsin or if you in Indiana. Remember I told y'all you could take the Chicago city streets straight out of motherfucking Chicago and cross the state line and go from the city of Chicago into a whole nother state that they call Indiana using Chicago streets. Man, try going to the Walmart and shit that's over there on Indianapolis Boulevard and shit. You know what I'm saying? Or down to the Cabela's that's further south down on Indianapolis Boulevard when you get deep into Hammond and shit. You know what I'm saying? Try going in there and try and buy some motherfucking ammo and shit. And watch see if they don't ask you for ID. And if you get them a motherfucking Illinois ID, they going to ask for the FOIA card. If you don't get a FOIA card, they ain't going to buy you shit. They ain't going to sell you shit. I'm telling you how it go. You know what I'm saying? You talk to a motherfucker, I got firearms. I got ammunition and shit. I'm trying to tell you, I done made videos and shit showing y'all the ammunition and shit and how much it costs. I'm telling you how it go. That's the way it works. Straight up. So now here it is. It's a big ass fight over this because outside of Chicago, ain't nobody going. You know what I'm saying? It's all a political stint. That's all it is. They want to blame it on that fake ass bullshit with the mob from back in the 20s. And in reality, it's the same corrupt motherfuckers that just keep getting reelected every generation. Right? So here it is now. You got this guy on the screen here who is, who the fuck is his name? This is Senator, State Representative Dan Calkins. He a representative out of Decatur, right? Now, mind you, Decatur is a little bit of a ways from Chicago. Keep in mind, anything outside of Chicago, it ain't nothing moving, man. They ain't on none of that shit, man. It's Cook County and Chicago. That's it. Cook County is the largest county in Illinois, too, so you know that shit wreak havoc. Because whatever don't get applied into the city of Chicago, it stretch out into the counties and shit. And there's a lot of little so-called suburbs and townships and shit that make up all of Cook County when you get outside of the city limits. You see what I'm saying? So now here it is. You got this guy right here. He done filed a lawsuit. He's a state representative, right? Now you got some other guy named DeVore or something. And I should have looked him up. But it's some more subverter type bullshit. He's an attorney that's down in... Oh, God. I think he's in Macon County, too, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me. But this attorney, he's got over 1,200 and some people that's on his team that he represents that then filed a so-called lawsuit against this shit. And Dave was granted a restraining order for that, right? So now the way it's working is like this. The guy you see on stream, the state representative, right? He just got a judge to issue a restraining order for 2,000 people right? That's up under him, that's supposed to sign the affidavit or did whatever, right? To represent that 2,000 people that's supposed to be under that for that particular case. They were granted a temporary restraining order against this ban. Because keep in mind, they did the shit in the wee hours of the night. This is how it worked almost a month ago. They did the shit in the wee hours of the night, right? The next morning they came out, yep, it's banned. Fuck out of here. It's take effect right now as you hear it coming out of my mouth. And boom, the shit just went into effect. No 30-day period, 60 days, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's like from the minute they said that all the way to now, it's been in effect, right? So what they fighting it on the grounds of, right, is that it's not equal protection under the law, right, which is under the Constitution. It is unconstitutional, right? It is. The tactic that they using is 100. That's what they fighting now with the state courts. We've got a couple of, we've got like 2 or 3 lawsuits filed at the state level, right? And then there's like another 1 or 2 at the federal level right now from Illinois that's going on. Like, motherfuckers is fighting, bro. Like, I gotta be honest on that shit. They not going. Once you get outside of Chicago and Cook County, they not going. Like, they have filed lawsuits. Motherfuckers that came out and be like, nigga, you crazy. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna see what's gonna happen, right? But now the point being is this. The judge granted the restraining order for this guy you see on screen, and then they also granted a restraining order for the lawyer I was telling you about who got XYZ amount of people under them, but it only applies for them. The argument is that it don't offer equal protection under the law because they saying certain people can have it and don't have to register and this, that, and the other, and then certain people don't have that option, right? And that's going to apply to the vast majority of people, quite naturally, as you already know. So they arguing equal protection under the law, which is what is causing these judges to say, yeah, you're right, it's unconstitutional. We're going to put a restraining order on just these people until we can figure out, like, what the hell was going on and what needs to happen. Like I said, it's like a total of 5 lawsuits. 3 of them at the state level. 2 of them is already in federal court that has come out of Illinois where they like, nope, we're not going. Nope. So now the argument and the funny thing to me that I'm trying to point out to you all about how it's all a game. It's all a stage. The world is a stage for anybody who don't know, right? 2 different judges then granted a restraining order for 2 different cases that's been filed, right? Saying, yes, we do believe that this could be unconstitutional because it doesn't afford equal protection under the law. But they only put the restraining order on for those people that's under it. So it's like 2,000 under this guy that you're looking at here. And I think this DeVore guy, where the fuck is his last name is like DeVore or something, that has filed a lawsuit that's not too far outside of like East St. Louis and shit. And they got like, I don't know, 1,200 or so people, right? So it only applies for those amount of people. They saying, yeah, we think it might be unconstitutional for them. And it's like, well, okay, that's a good 3,000 maybe at best. It's like, you know how many millions of motherfucking people in Illinois? Why haven't they put a restraining order on it for the entire motherfucking state? Why would it, if you got 2 judges, or if you got 2 different motherfuckers that then filed cases, and the argument is being that it don't afford equal protection under the law, and both judges is like, yeah, that you might be right about that. We're going to put a halt on it. But it's only for those people. It's like, well, if you agree with that, how in the fuck is it not halted for the entire state? And see, these are the games that they play. And you have to ask yourself, who stands to benefit from all of this? Who stands to benefit? Because it damn sure ain't going to be us. You know why? Because it's us that they want to take the guns from. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me, firearms. It's us that they want to take the weapons from. And number 1, that's not going to happen. Number 2, it wouldn't matter any motherfucking way because everything they doing is stupid and reckless and dumb as hell. Keep in mind, this is the same administration that tried to push a bill through overnight, like how they did this shit, where they was like, yeah, you know, we know you raped your mama, but we just gonna fingerprint this nigga and put him back on the street, if we even catch him. It's like, what? Get the fuck out of here, man. No cash bail. Yeah, all right. This is the same administration. The exact same administration. It ain't changed. Kwame Raoul is still the attorney general. He the fucking attorney. This pussy ass motherfucker, his office is the one that's fighting back. The lawsuits that's on the state level is against them. You know what I'm saying? And the governor. Fucking Pritzker pussy ass. But who gonna represent him? Kwame Raoul. But needless to say, man, it's the original Lone Wolf, man. I just wanted to point out this little trickery to y'all, man, so y'all understand that the world is a stage, man. It's all nonsense. You can't say that this is maybe not equal protection under the law. They might be right. It could be unconstitutional, but you only do it for like 3,000 fucking people in the entire state. It's like, come on, man. How is that not equal protection? Here it is. It's still a ban for everybody in the state except for these couple of thousand people that is supposed to be under this lawsuit. And the ground of it is that it doesn't afford equal protection under the law, which is true. They saying like, cops and retired cops and active military. They even saying motherfuckers who retired military, no longer in the military, you got to register your shit too or turn it over or become a criminal. They got all kind of dumb shit. So the grounds of it being unconstitutional is correct. And if two judges see it that way, why in the fuck ain't it a restraining order for the entire state? Because they know that's gonna open the floodgates. Straight up. Because I already said I got a nice little ooh-op I'm gonna grab. If they put a restraining order on for the entire state, or if they just overturn it, you know what I'm saying, just, because the shit is unconstitutional as hell, I got a nice little ooh-op I'm gonna go grab. Soon as the shit is over with, I probably should have been got it. You know what I mean? But this is the original Lone Wolf, man. The world's a stage. My love to y'all, man. Shout out to my new subscribers. I love y'all. This is how I get down. And once again, man, to be aware is to be alive. Peace.